Okay, guys, so this is probably going to be like long way up. It's just how it works. So let's do YouTube random comment picker. Wait, hold on. How does this work? Is this where I put it? Okay, so there's the video. The last pattern was for goat load. We're going to filter based on specific text. I told you guys to say goat. I think I only saw 2 comments. Yes, so where's the start? Why is it in these weird 4 squares? Debbie Sisk. That geisha piece is gorgeous. Oh, my mama's texting me. I like goat yoga and fainting goats. What's goat yoga? I don't know that. Is that where they stand on you? So there we go. Let me screenshot. Well, no, I don't need to screenshot it. So Debbie Sisk, make sure there's a Google Doc in my description box where you put your address in, and make sure it matches your YouTube name. Ow, cat. Everybody, if you ever want to enter a giveaway, make sure that you fill out the Google Doc with all the information that's in there. This is of no cost to you. I pay shipping, everything. So congratulations, Debbie, and we'll see you guys later. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy. This is a channel about cross stitch. I keep saying that. It's not about cross stitch, it's about other things, but for some reason we only do cross stitch. Anyway, before this clip plays, you'll have seen the giveaway winner clip because I forgot to record it and haven't sent them out yet. I have a pile of stuff on my desk that I need to send out, and I just haven't. So I'm lucky today and I have no children present. What is hanging off my tripod? And I have no children present, so I'm going to try to talk in my normal voice so you guys can hear me. I tend to talk a little bit lower when my kids are here because, well, not my kids. I have one kid, I have 3, but I have one that's homeschooled. And typically when I'm recording my Flosstubes in the mornings, she's in her Zoom meeting. And she sits in the room right next to my room where my / office is, which is where I've been recording because I can't record here because she's sitting on the couch, which is right behind you guys. And that's very distracting. And so I film in my room and I try to lower my voice a little bit. My last video, I turned up the volume, I can't recall. Honestly, I know it's there and I think I just keep forgetting to do it. Anyway, I'm gonna talk my normal voice. So hopefully you guys can hear me. This is Flosstube, who fucking knows, 46, I think. I'm not sure, I might be wrong. I don't have a lot to share with you guys. So, you know, I've kind of, yes and no. I have had I stitched, don't get me wrong. I pretty much stitched on one project the whole time. I did stitch on my giraffe, but it's in the car. It has turned into my car project. And I'm finding out that I just haven't, since I put it in there, I don't have as much time to stitch on it. It's weird. Normally I do. So we'll see. A little bit of a life update is it's about to get crazy because I am going to be moving to Arizona. I just haven't quite, so I can't get this hair off. It's bothering me. There's a lot of details that I need to work out. I did accept a job. Unfortunately, it's a little bit less paid and it does require a few weeks of travel. This hair is pissing me off. It does require a few weeks of travel in the beginning, the first several weeks, not consecutive. They have it for every other week, but it does coincide with when school starts. And so I don't know how I'm going to do that. And of course it is less pay, which I'm stressing out about. I don't know. I'll talk about that in the weapon chat. I'm going to lower you guys because I feel like you're too high. I personally, I see some Flosstubers, like they're way down here. You see like all this background and it's like, why are you doing that? I don't know. I like to see the person, even though we're going to see the stuff that they're working on anyway. But let me lower you just a tad, whatever. So let's see. I started watching, what is it called? Law & Order SVU. I'm almost done with season 2. Law & Order started in 1999, but I finished Chicago PD. and I was watching, well, and I didn't finish it because it's still currently running, and I think I got up to the April 6th episode of this year, and I think that's either season 9 or season 10, but I'm pretty current on Chicago PD. I haven't fully wanted to watch the whole Chicago 1 series because I'm not a big fan of the actors in Chicago Med. I think some of the women are just terrible actresses, but it did make me want to watch Law and Order because in some of the later seasons of Chicago PD, they like, what is it called when they like share characters? Anyway, Law and Order characters come out in Chicago PD and vice versa. So I thought that was interesting, and it made me really fall in love with Olivia Benson and her whole character, and so I started watching Law and Order. And I'm actually pretty impressed because I was wondering why, what's his name, Ice-T, was on the show for so long. He comes on in season 2. He's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like, that was one of the reasons why I didn't watch the show, because I was like, there's no way this guy's doing a good job. Like, there's no way, but I actually really like it. Anyway, talking for too long about that. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot to share. I did not work on a lot of things. I do have a unboxing coming out, which is something we have not done in forever. And I'm going to show you the thing because I did start it, but I do have the unboxing. I'm taking my sweet time in editing videos. I've kind of been going through it lately, and I haven't taken the time to record any Stitch With Me's or edit the unboxing that I have. And then I'm gonna try to record a Stitch With Me today, but I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. It says I only have an hour, so I don't know like why. I need to go through my video clips and see. The last time it said that I had that much space left, it was because I hadn't posted any of my vlogs onto Patreon. So if you're considering Patreon, there's a ton of videos over there. I think at this point there's like 30 or so, and I forget to post them, and so there'll be days where I post like several in a row, but I try to post at least once a week in the respective categories. And then also I sent an email last night, Floss of the Month. I'm going to be doing 5 giveaway winners for Floss of the Month every month starting in May. So if you sign up for Floss of the Month with your first paid month, you become eligible to become into the drawing. So as long as if you purchase before Floss of the Month goes out, which I try to bill by the 15th, if you've paid within the first 2 weeks of the month, you're eligible for that month's drawing. If you pay after that, or you sign up after that, you won't be eligible until the next month's drawing, because the winners will have already been drawn for that month, because I'm going to try to be drawing mid-month. I do need a few more members to make this as, what's the word? Like, so the same people aren't winning all the time, because it's still a small club, and I do still have spots open. So if you're considering that, you have a chance to win, and there's not going to be any limit to how many times you can win. It is going to be totally random. So if you happen to win 2 months in a row, guess what? You get your floss free 2 months in a row. And I will draw the names before I bill for the following month, if that makes sense. So 5 people will be winners every single month. So go join. Once the spots that I have right now are closed, I do have to say is that I don't have room to expand for a while, just because of the way that it works in the dye batches that I do dye right now. Once that's full, I will not be able to expand until I find a proper sized house with adequate space to house larger batches of drying floss and stuff like that. Some kind of storage unit for it, because right now we're going to be moving and I can't accommodate more than what I already have. So anyway, I'm sorry if that was all over the place. It is what it is. So let's get into whips. Oh, I've had a ton of new subscribers lately. Thank you guys for taking the time to subscribe. Obviously, or maybe you like me just enough that you want to keep coming back, which is amazing. I absolutely love that. I do Flosstube because I love watching Flosstube and sharing my whips and looking at other people's whips. Obviously, I don't get paid, you know. I love it, and I love that I'm able to show you guys things that you guys love too. And yeah, this painting here is a painting. So some kids came knocking on my door last summer and said, hey, we're selling these paintings. What do you think? Would you guys like to buy one? And I was like, it's funny because I never carry cash. And then at this particular time, I just happened to have just enough to buy one of them. I can't remember how much they were. They were like $12 or $15 or something like that, which is pretty pricey. But I was like, you know what? These canvases, depending on where you get them, they can be $5 each, you know. So I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and get one. So I let the kids pick one out, and they picked this one out. Let me show you guys. Watch. You're on a tripod, so hold on. Let me show you what it looks like. Don't mind my ugly ass lamp in the back. They didn't have any good colors. So it's just this cool like dead tree, and it's like in a storm. At least that's what it reminds me. I kind of like it. That was one of the ones that I liked. There was one more that I would have, you guys are just totally crooked. I would have picked out a different one. It was between this one and one more, but that's okay. My kids still did a good job. Hold on, I'm gonna move you guys a little bit because what the frick is going on here? I feel like you're totally crooked, but anyway. So yeah, I don't have very many whips. I won't be showing you the giraffe one. I did get some stitches in, but not a lot. I worked on Heaven's Window from Heaven and Earth Designs. This is mini artwork by Andy Russell, so it's not going to be ginormous. This is a restart. I had started it on 25 count Lugana. I didn't like the way it was coming out, so I restarted it on 18 count Ada, and I am obsessed with it. I don't think it's gonna be this big, but that's just how I started. So yeah, this is where I'm at. I think I messed up and it was frustrating me, and so I had to pick out, you can see, hold on, let me move some of the threads in the back because they're kind of, you can kind of see through it. So I had to pick out, I don't know, yeah, you can see up here, I had to pick all these stitches out because they were wrong. I think I fixed it before I put it away because I didn't want to have to worry about that because there's a bush coming up right here. I have a, first, this is where I was at last time because I'm pretty sure I showed you guys this last time so you can see where I've gotten. And then I have a digital image that I'll show you here too, and you can see the little like bush on this side, and then the part that's sticking out. It's a green little like thing coming up in the bottom corner. That it looks green in here anyway, but the bottom of it's quite dark. And then it's a mini, so we're talking less colors. Well, there's still 88 colors in it, but like I'm still thoroughly enjoying the stitch. There's some gaps here because those were colors that I didn't have, and I keep forgetting to go buy them. I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing 9 colors. That can't be right. I don't know. I have this piece of paper here. I'm still missing a handful of 4 colors for giraffe, and then some of these colors for Heaven's Window. And I keep forgetting to add this to my real list of colors that I take with me. But anyway, I'm loving stitching the full coverage on the Ada 2/1. The thing that I hate about Ada though, especially untreated Ada like this, is how rough it is, and it can kind of fuzz up your floss when you're stitching, and I'm having that problem on the one that I'm going to show you guys last. So yeah, it is what it is. You could always pre-wash it and like, you know, rinse it and whatever, let it dry, and that'll soften it up a bit. But I didn't do that. I can't be bothered with that. You know, it is what it is. There's so much like floss flying around. I feel like fuzzies everywhere. That's the bad part. But working with Ada is I get a ton of floss. Like look at my needle. Can you guys see the fuzz hanging off the eye? That's what happens with Ada a lot of the time. That's one of the reasons why I stopped using Ada. Not necessarily, but I prefer, if they had made an 18 count even weave, that would hands down be my favorite because I absolutely love the even weave. That's why I don't stitch on 14 count anymore, because I can see 28 count just perfect. And if I'm going to stitch on 14 count, I will use a 28 count 2/2. It's just my preferred way to stitch because I absolutely love the feeling of stitching on Ada. I mean, even weave, sorry. Oh wait, hold on, that's something else. So Okay, so we did the giraffe, but I don't have it here to show you. I'm just making sure that that was, I didn't work on Pandemic. I didn't work on, what was the geisha. I didn't work on that. I didn't work on, what did I stick in here? Let me see what I put in here real quick. Oh, Harry Potter, didn't work on that. I took out, you guys saw last time, I took out the UFO, the Harry Potter project, and this was the cutting cross stitch Harry Potter project, and I took the bag and put it with my full coverage Harry Potter book covers that everybody seems to love. I'm sorry I didn't put any work into it this week, but this is a Harry Potter artwork bag that I got last year, I think it was, in the year 2 Hogwarts box. I can't remember. It came in one of the Hogwarts boxes from Black Needle Society. I did sign up for year 3, and that doesn't come until the summer, so I hope it gets here before I move, but we'll see. Actually, I don't think it will. I'm gonna have to contact them. And it's just like a bunch of mandrakes, but it's a really large, oversized bag, and it's perfect for this other Harry Potter project. Of course, it had to match Harry Potter and Harry Potter, but I have a floss box in here, and what? I got a weird text message that says I was being charged for spam messages. I don't know what I did. Ever since I started looking for houses in Tucson, like, I've been getting so many spam messages, and so now I'm just gonna stay away from Craigslist, because I think that all the ads on Craigslist, like 80% of them are all freaking scams. So don't use Tucson housing Craigslist, FYI. Anyway, so I have a floss box. I have an 11 by 8 dish Q-snap in here, the project with the Ada, and then I have a floss ring. So yeah, anyway, that has nothing to do with this episode of Flosstube. Okay, then we worked on, I don't know which one to show you. Okay, I'll show you this. So this is the unboxing that's going to be coming up after this video. I ordered this kit from Maiden. It's one of the only kits that I could find in 14 count that I liked, because from what I could see, they only do 11 and 14 count, and I think even when they first started, they only did 9 and 11, if I'm not mistaken. Then they added 14, but they don't have everything in 14. I will not go lower than a 14 count. You have to stitch with 3 strands, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. So I got this cute one. My daughter wanted to stitch it, and I was like, no. She was obsessed with it for some reason. And I said, like, this is just too big for her to do. She's like, I really want to do it though. It's so cute. But I told her no. It's a pre-printed stamped kit. So I got this little bit in the corner here, and then I came over here and did this bottom here, all the blue here I did. And then when I first pulled it out, I started here. And I did this blue right here, because I tried putting it on a Q-snap, decided that I didn't like it. I like to stitch these ones in hand. So it's not abnormally large. I talk about the sizing in the unboxing, so when that comes out, you guys will see it. So yeah, this corner, and then this. This is taking me longer than I like. I'm having to get used to it again. One of the reasons why I stopped stitching with these was because of the difficulty in getting them like taut in a frame. It's difficult for me because they come folded. I guess I could iron it, but I'm too lazy to do that. It is very difficult to get these comfortably in a Q-snap with the tension that I want. And then I don't really like scroll frames, and so I have several and I don't use them, and so it just, you know, it is what it is. I like to stitch in hand. The bottom's so easy to do when you're stitching in hand, but the middle, well, I mean, I guess it is what it is. It'll be fine. There's a lot of color blocking in this one, so sorry, my nose is red. It is itching so bad, and I don't know why. It's typical. Nothing was happening until I turned the camera on. It's like a curse, a Flosstube curse. Anyway, there's that. It's gonna be so cute when it's done, and I honestly think my daughter wants this one for some reason. So I'm just trying my best, trying to stitch and stitch and stitch with what time I do have with my kids and stuff, so that I can start getting some of these projects on the walls. A lot of these projects are things that the kids love. My daughter, I got this because I liked it, but my daughter ended up falling in love with it. I've got several space themed projects that I want to do and start for my other daughter. I've got stuff for my son. I just need to get it done. Okay, so the next, I'm going to take this off my Lowry. The next project that I worked on a lot is also a new start. So it's a whip, a new start, and part of haul, because I purchased this. I always say that I'm going to come back next time with no haul, and then I come back with haul, but I will talk about it. So I had seen that Artisy was having a 20% off sale in the month of April, so I was like, okay. I have been struggling with my Heaven and Earth addiction, because the projects are so large and detailed. They're so detailed that they have to be large in order to get the detail. And so I had pulled out, actually, I do have another whip. I had pulled out one of my Heaven and Earths, and I was like, man, this is taking forever. So I was like, I want to do something else. Like, I want to do one of these, another full coverage on a smaller count. Like, what can I find? I went through, like, to see the ones that I had kitted. They're all on 28 count or 25 count even weave, which is fine, but you get tired of stitching that way. And so I was like, okay, I need to do something else here. So I started looking on Artisy. I'd already had my eye on a couple of charts, and then you know, I was like, you know, I don't know. So I bought 2 charts, and then bought well, I bought 2 charts. Started one immediately after thinking that I wasn't going to start it. I was just super obsessed with it. Started it immediately, and then decided, I was like, you know what, I created a dummy Facebook account specifically to go onto Artisy and look through their free charts, because on their website it says that they have a lot of their charts in their Facebook group, and they do. They've got about 70 some charts in their Facebook group. I think I printed out about 5, which I am not in a rush to start except for one. And then after that, I went and bought 2 more with their 20% off. So I was able to get 4 charts for about $30, and Heaven and Earth charts are $19 for one regular price. Artisy runs about $9.95-ish, I think, full price. With their 20% off sale, I got the charts for $7.95, I believe. So the price difference is significant. However, the detail is not there in some of the Artisy charts. So some of the charts have a regular version, a mini version, and a small regular version, a mini version, and a large version. And so the large version is more akin to like a Heaven and Earth. And I chose ones that I was comfortable getting 18 count Ada. So without showing you this chart, because I'm going to show you in the haul, Artisy charts have this on them. So I was looking at the size, and all of the ones that I fell in love with typically run on an 18 count Ada 17 by 12. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that, because it gives me, I can stitch it. It's not going to be ridiculous if I decide to stitch it on a 14 or a 28 count, or a 16 or an 18. A 16, I could go up to a 32 and do 2 over 2, you know, and it would still be fine, you know, and it's still a nice size. Again, the detail in some of them isn't as incredible as a Heaven and Earth design, because you're looking at smaller images. And so, but if you want to do a full coverage and you want to do something smaller and you don't want to pick out a mini on Heaven and Earth, definitely go to Artisy, because you're going to get a smaller chart. And I've noticed they use less colors typically, sometimes not, but a lot of the time you see less colors. Again, there's a huge difference in the detail, so I'm not saying anything bad about Heaven and Earth designs, because you will see the difference in the detail. But if you want something just less daunting, I'd highly recommend Artisy. So that was just way too long about that. So this was a purchase and a new start. I did Dream of the Wolf Maiden by Gloria West. It is no secret how much I love Gloria West's work. I was able to license her for a period of time and do not lots, I think 4 of her images in diamond paintings, which came out amazing. This was an image that I just never got around to bringing into a diamond painting. I really wanted to. And since I have all of her other maidens in a diamond painting, I said, you know what? I am going to get this one and cross stitch it. So I purchased this one. I'm doing it on 18 count Aida. It's going to be 12.5 by 17 roughly. I think it's slightly smaller, but she rounds up. And it is 67 colors. And this is where I've gotten. I think I am at 4% on her chart. Let me check. I am stitching in Pattern Keeper. Yep, I am 4.05%. I have reached, so here there's one more stitch, I think 2 more rows, and I've reached this corner. And here the same thing, there's 2 more rows and I've reached that corner. So I've already reached all 3 corners on the first page. And I'm super excited. I had a goal. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try to get this a page finish, but we'll see. Like I said, I've just got so many things that I want to get done for my kids. I feel pretty selfish for doing things for myself with all of my stitching and my crafts and my crocheting and stuff. I don't want my kids' projects to be on the back burner and make them feel like they're not important enough, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think I'm going to be starting Aster's Amazing World this week if I get a chance, because I really want to get that one done for my daughter. So there's that. This is the feather already coming into light. These are the clouds. So when you're stitching it, you can't really see it. And then looking in the camera now, I can definitely see the detail in the image. So this is where I'm at right here. And this black, you can see the outline of the feather coming out very nicely right here. This is what I've done. You can already see some of the lines in the feather coming to light. So I'm pretty excited about that. And the clouds here, I don't think, let me see. I'm not sure if the moon starts here yet. I can't tell with the way that, I think part of the moon might be starting right here, which is why it's kind of been like this weird shape and there's no colors here. Because I try to color complete within a certain amount of what's like blocks that I'm using, and I'm doing like a rough diagonal on this. I don't, once I pick a color, I try to finish it so that I don't have a ton of strands hanging. I do have a couple of threads parked just because that was the next instance of that color and it wouldn't be coming out again. This one I need to come in because I blocked that stitch in, so I need to come in and finish that one. Oh no, there's 2 stitches there, but still. So yeah, I'm absolutely just freaking loving this. Absolutely loving this. That has been on my queue stop for several days in a row and I have not gotten tired of it. So the other thing that I worked on, I did work on this for one day. Immediately after my floss chips, I think last weekend I worked on this. Quarantine Cats from Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Bridget Ashwood. I'm doing this on 28 count Lugana, which is no surprise, which all my Heaven and Earths are done on that. Let me get these out. I'm trying to take all my scissors out because I know that I have a ton, but it got to a point where I didn't have any scissors, and then I was like stuck trying to find scissors in other projects. So anyway, Quarantine Cats, it's so cute. I'm hardly anywhere. I started here in this corner. I don't know what % I am on this. I'd have to check because there's not that much done. I've just started the curtain here, and it's hard to see, like when you're working on it, it's so hard to see what you're doing until you take a step back. Excuse me. A step back. So these ones here are threads that I've decided to end, and then everything else here is parked. It is what it is. I still have fun working on it, but this is something that I can only do during the day because I am doing this on 28 count, 2 over 1 half stitch tent. I'm not doing like a traditional tent because it's hard to lay the tent the way that you need to lay it on a full coverage piece like this, but it's coming along nicely. I think you definitely need to take a step back, and I was noticing like a harsh line right here, and so I'm trying to get this into more of a diagonal because I haven't done any full coverage, enough full coverage to notice if you get those lines in it or not. And it's funny because I didn't really stitch that like down in columns, but I am getting a line there and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because of the bulkiness of it, but I did a lot of fill in. I don't think I added any threads because I have a lot of blocked in stitches here that I'm trying to fill those in so that I can do it as evenly as possible. And I'm going to work it in the same way that I'm doing the Dream of the Wolf Maiden and do just like a rough diagonal as much as it'll let me. So yeah, that's where I'm at on Quarantine Cats. That's what I worked on. I spent a lot of time threading my floss like this. So that's why I don't have as much work too, is I did all of Quarantine Cats. I did all of Dream of the Wolf Maiden because she was not kitted up at all. And I started doing my threads shorter. So this is the length that they are now. That's the length that they used to be. So it's like half the size. I just think it's easier to store this way instead of having such a long dangly thread. And so as I use these, I might redo them to be shorter because this is just, it's long. The thing about that though is that I can't braid them anymore when they're this short, and when they were long I used to braid them because it was easier for storage, but it's okay. So I spent a lot of time doing that. I made all these cards with tags, so that took up a huge chunk of my time. And this is only the threads that are not on bobbins. I still have a lot of threads that are on bobbins too that I'm trying to use up because I hate bobbins, but I've already accepted that I'm probably going to be still using the bobbins that I have forever. So there's those. I have all of these too that I've been meaning to thread in the same way. So Everyday Witch Tarot, Five of Wands, Easter Lily Fairy, and the Gandalf, because he's freshly kitted. None of them are hanging on floss cards. Easter Lily Fairy is started, but I haven't but I haven't hung the floss on tags. And then the same thing with Everyday Tarot. I want to start it. I'm so overwhelmed with the projects that I have. I really need to just stop getting more. The last thing we're going to get into is the haul. So when I purchased the Gloria West chart, I bought that one with, because you know we can't just buy one, right? I bought that with the Stroll Under the Rain from Leonid Afromov. I had the idea that I would kit it up right away and put it together. So I took out the little bit of floss that I did have for it. I ended up not really having that many, maybe 10, 15 skeins of colors. It uses 89 colors. I was going to do it on 18 count 8. I have the Ada, but I decided, you know what? I'm not going to kit it up. I have pulled aside what I did pull for this one, and I will probably just put it in a bag and put it in my kitted up bin, or my partially kitted bin, and just leave it for another day because I have too many things. Then I went to their page again and I got 2 more patterns a couple of days later, and both of these I want to start like right away. I have the fabric for them. I haven't tried kitting them up because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait until I've moved, I've found a place, everything's unpacked before I do more of that. And I need to get used to what our new schedule is going to be, things like that. You know, when school starts again, it's going to be hard because I've never worked outside the home when I've had children. I was lucky enough that I had my own business, and then I went to school for 4 years, and then COVID came along and I got to work remote. So I've never worked outside of the home where I've had to worry about my kids. So that's going to be a huge adjustment for everybody. So I want to wait before I start more stuff. So I said that. So or at least kitting more things up, because I already have a lot of things kitted and ready to go. I just don't want to add to that. So I bought 2 more, and I want to start these immediately. I bought Moonlit Cabin, artwork by Zakio, and these are all Artisy cross stitches. It looks like they have a couple different designers. Oh, no. S. Clark. I don't know who S. Clark is. So it looks like there's like a couple different designers. So I bought Moonlit Cabin. This is freaking gorgeous. I saw this. They haven't, like, I don't know if it's in their cover photo on Facebook or in one of the images that plays like on their homepage of their website. I saw it somewhere. It's freaking stunning and I absolutely love it. And it's gonna look good too for this size. On 18 count, it's gonna be 17 by 12. And it's like, this is the mock-up for it. So it's gonna look pretty good. These pictures do no justice when you print them out. Then I bought new solar system artwork from Adrian Chesterman. Adrian Chesterman's artwork is highly stolen on Etsy. He's got a lot of images. You can tell it's his. And all the ones that I've seen on Etsy are all stolen. And I've almost purchased a couple until I saw them on Artisy. That's when I knew that they were stolen because Artisy has his name on all of it. So this just looks freaking gorgeous. And this was my favorite one that I thought that I wanted to stitch. There's several, but I thought this was the most realistic of the ones that he has, and I absolutely loved it. This one's only 60 colors, so I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I really can't wait to start that one. Then I have all the ones that I took from their Facebook group, which, again, they've got about 75 or so, maybe 80 in their Facebook group, all for free. Okay, my favorite one that I want to start is Sierra Nevada. Artwork by Albert Bierstadt. 67 colors. Look at how pretty that is. I'm worried about the white, but I was looking at it and it doesn't look like there's a lot of white color, like floss. There's actually no white at all. There's no B5200. There's no Blanc. And there's no, what is it? Is it 01? I can't remember. Yeah, so it looks like it's a lot of grays. And very light, like 712, 822, like tanny type of colors. But it's supposed to be like a rainy day in this is what I gathered. And it's gorgeous. I don't know why I'm falling in love with these landscapes, but I am. So that's the first one that I kind of want to start. Then these ones are all free, remember, on their Facebook group. That one was charted by Tarina Clark, and some of them say S. Clark, and some of them say Tarina Clark. So this one is called Emerald Lake, Canada, original image by Ian Keefe. That's what that looks like. Again, so pretty. This one, I'm not in a rush to start this one. It just looks neat. It's got 3865, 5 skeins of 3865, which I believe is a white. So that's not going to be fun, but it is what it is. There's that one. That one has 65 colors. I got Blue-Eyed Kitty. This one is so cute. I absolutely love this one. And it's, let's see, original image by Alexis Photos. 20 colors. It only uses 20 colors. And it's only going to be 11.5 by 8 on 18 count. Even on 14 count, 14.5 by 10.5 is a good size. I could do this in 28 count even weave. It's so pretty. I absolutely love it. I think they have a couple different cats of different colored eyes. But 20 colors, there's going to be a lot of color blocking in this. And or maybe not, I don't know. But I absolutely love the way it looks. It's so stinking cute. Not in a rush to start that though. Then I got Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado, original image by Skeezy with 71 colors. We've got a little bit more colors on this one, but it's so pretty. Again, not in a rush to start this one. I might never start it, but it was free, and these were the ones that if I was going to start one, these were the ones that I chose. Then I have this one called Canada Landscape, original image by Herman Viverman, 68 colors. And these are like real photos from what I could gather turned into cross stitches. I don't know if there's large versions of these. So these don't look incredibly crisp because they're not, they're sized down, you know, to fit it with only 68 colors. If this was a Heaven and Earth, it would probably have 90. You know, like 89 seems to be the standard for Heaven and Earth colors. So yeah, and only full crosses are used in this pattern is what they all say. So those are the favorite ones that I chose, aside from the ones that I purchased. If I start anything, it's going to be one of the Heaven and Earths that I have, or one of these two. If I kit anything up next, it'll be one of these two. And if I start anything, it's going to be one of these three. It's either going to be Gandalf. Oh no, Easter Lily is already done. It's going to be Gandalf or Everyday Tarot. That is the haul, and that is what I started and everything. I am so overwhelmed by my cross stitch stash that I don't know what to do. And my kids know how long it takes, and I feel bad for not doing the pieces that I've said that I would do for them. Like the Astra's Amazing World. So the reason I haven't started Astra's Amazing World yet is because the pattern is, there's a section of the pattern on the right, on the left bottom side that's not printed. So she has, let me pull it out for you guys so I can show you guys what I mean. I was incredibly frustrated with this. I'm pretty sure I have, yeah, I do. So this pattern, this is the chart, right? So she has it obviously broken up into a bunch of smaller pages. It was a stitch along and it came out in all different sections. This part down here, the bottom left, is not in any of the charts. I don't know why. It stops like right here somewhere, and you're missing a good 20 rows in the written chart. So when I asked her about it, she was like, it's there, you need to look. And I said, no, it's not. Like, I gave her all the page numbers, and she was like, oh yeah, I didn't chart that. Like, you have to get it off of the main image. And I was like, this one? And I sent her a screenshot, and she says, yeah, you have to do it on that. And I said, how am I supposed to read this? I said, look at how freaking tiny this is. Like, seriously, that is smaller than my fingernail that has makeup on it. And she was like, oh, you need to do it digitally and zoom in. And I was like, no, like, I'm not going to do that. Like, it's just an image just like this. I have no way of marking it off. I was like, I don't stitch like that. Like, I said, does it work with Pattern Keeper? And she was like, no. And so I was like, well, that's how you did the stitch along? And she was like, yeah, that's how we stitched it. And nobody complained about it. I don't know. This was my thing. I was very frustrated with that. And so I'd have to start up here or somewhere else. I had originally thought that I was going to start in the center, but then it starts in the middle of all of this hard stuff. And I was like, I feel like I need more groundwork. So I was going to start here. And that's how I found that there was an issue with this, was because I couldn't start there. And so I was very frustrated with that, like so annoyed. It probably bothered me more than it did because I was ready to stitch on it that day. I had it ready to go. It's fully kitted, and it just frustrated me to all hell. If you guys have stitched this and, you know, liked it, more power to you. I was very irritated by this. That's my personal opinion. Don't take it to heart. So I'm still gonna do it. The thing about it is that this is the only part that's not in the pattern. The rest of this is. And so I couldn't understand why the bottom right corner is charted in the paper chart, but the bottom left corner wasn't. That was my issue with it. It had nothing to do with, like, I could see if she did the whole thing, but she didn't. It was just weird. Anyway, so yeah, I'm still gonna do it. I still want it. I think it's still so stinking cute. I know both of my girls are gonna love it. You know, and yeah, that's my own personal beef with that situation. Then I have it in this tiny freaking project bag. Why, I don't know, but I do. And of course I'm stitching it on a piece of Be Stitch Me's something or other. 32 count Lugana in Cosmos. So it's gonna be gorgeous. And I just haven't started it yet. I need to. I should. But I have so many other things that I want to stitch and don't too. So anyway, that's the situation with that. A couple bobbins hanging out. And yeah, I thought honestly this week, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to stitch at all. And I'm going to take time and take all of my skeins and put them into my floss rings, because I kitted up a lot of stuff this last week. Not kitted up, I went and purchased floss for projects that I've either started and needed a few skeins, or have partially kitted and want to finish kitting them so I don't have to worry about them. And so I went and bought a ton of floss. Everyday Tarot is one of them. Easter Lily and Gandalf. Easter Lily I did last week, and Gandalf I did this week. I still have a few projects, like I told you earlier, that I need to get a few skeins for. And so that was my thing, was I was going to take them all off and put them on floss tags. But I got so annoyed making these, because I have to make these for Floss of the Month too. And it's like, man, I made probably 200 of these. I still have a nice pile left. There's still more up here. But then I have to make 1,000 coming up for the next 2 months floss, because I'm going to be dyeing the next 2 months floss right now, because like I said, I'm going to be moving at the end of May, beginning of June, and I don't want to have to worry about Floss of the Month. So I'm going to be dyeing May and June's floss right now, so I don't have to worry about it. So that's another reason, like, why I haven't like really started anything else or been like working on a whole bunch of stuff, because doing those skeins takes time. When I did what's that one called, the Dream of the Wolf Maiden, I did it in 2 separate sessions. I did like all of the main colors that I was using and stitching with in the beginning, and then when I had more time, I went back and did all of the rest of them. So everything is either on this ring or this ring with the bobbins, you know, and none of the colors are the same. And I'm not doing the duplicate colors. I have some other colors in the bag. There you go. Right here that I haven't taken off, 310 and 3371 if I'm not mistaken. Now there's 417 that require more than one skein. I didn't do all of it. I will just go through it and put it on the empty card when I run out, because I didn't want like 6 tags of 310, because I want to use them up. So, you know, there's that. Does anybody else feel overwhelmed by their stash, where you want to stitch everything and you just have too much and you don't have enough time to do it all? That's where I'm at. But I still keep buying fucking more. Ugh. It's a rabbit hole that you can't get out of. I feel like Ellis. Anyway, that's it. I need to go. This is too long. And I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And don't forget to register for Floss of the Month. You won't regret it.